Hello, so welcome to the part 2 of our um, mineral matte lipstick. So right now, if you will check here, over here, I'm gonna go ahead and um, put this near the camera. Right now, I've got 116 degrees Celsius in there, so that's basically higher than the melting point of the hardest wax in the formula, Carnauba wax. So there, it has fully melted except for the sides. So I'm gonna just scrape those a little bit before we start. What's good with a melter like this is that um, it doesn't, make your solution boil. And please don't touch, if you have this, don't touch the sides, it's pretty hot. And I can just put this back on and off. Put it back on, put it off, um, and vice versa. So I'm just scraping the sides and incorporate the rest of the other waxes I've got on my spatula. Let me just get this one. Okay, it's pretty easy to harden because I'm on an air-conditioned room. So all right, so I'm here in our production area at the second floor. So what I'm gonna do is, while it's still liquid, I'll go ahead and we'll stir in our colorant, mineral pigment, all the way down, all of it, guys. Not just a portion of it, because this is part of our formulary. 20% in the formulary is inorganic mineral pigment or blended pigment, our colorant for our lipstick. Okay, so then we will mix it and allow the powders to be saturated by the oils and the waxes. Okay, fully saturated, guys, and then we will blend this really well. So in the event that, or in the process of you blending, see that? I'm going to show it to you. While you need to do this, need the colors on the sides to, so you see me doing this. I'm trying to knead those colors on the sides and blend them fully. So when you look at it closely, okay, you'll find when you knead on the sides, you'll see those white streaks and the watermelon streaks coming out. So it's really important that you blend them fully. You'll see that when you're making, see that? If you can see that white streaks there, that's titanium dioxide or probably kaolin clay. So you need to make sure that you blend them properly. So what's going to happen, it's going to, because you're blending it together with the waxes and the oils, it's going to have those lumps. Okay, so what you just have to do is to pop in the heating element, and while you're blending it, or what else can you use if you don't have this heating element? You may use, for your samplings, you may actually use as the last option, you may use a microwave. Make sure your setting is medium, okay? And you can just pop in the microwave, get it off from the microwave, and continue your blending, and do it as frequent if you need to, until you're able to disperse your colors properly, and there's no more streaks of other colors showing up or coming up when you try to knead it on the sides. So there's another way of warming your lipstick, your mixture. You may also use a double boiler to do that process. So it's a double boiler. It's just like this warmer. Okay. All you have to do is just leave it there while you're doing the blending, if you can do that, and until you're able to mix and blend all those pigments properly with your face B ingredients. So we'll just do this until we're done, and we'll show you later. So I'm still working on my blends. Okay, there you go. I'm gonna put it back there, and I'm just gonna get my tools so that I can scrape all those on the sides and then blend them. Okay. Alright, so I have my tools right here. So I can scrape the sides because it's pretty hard to scrape it using my spatula now. Okay, so we need to use a much harder scraper to get those on the sides. Okay. So you may be wondering, how am I gonna do this on my how am I gonna do this on a big how am I gonna do a bigger batch on that? It's pretty hard on this one. Yeah, usually when I have to make a really big batch, in fact, I usually create or make about 1,000 pieces a day. Yeah, I can do that. I only use small batches. We do small batches at a time because I'm the only one who can make it here in the lab. But I have all my staff who will be who can do the blending, you know, the mixing, but I will have to be the one to do the pouring because they're not uh, they can't do it properly, and I have to do all the pouring. And I can finish whenever everything is all made, and all I have to do is to blend a little bit, combine them all together. I would usually start from, you know, face and B together has already been blended by my staff, and then I will have to warm it and mix it using mix it and add in our face C's, and then that's the time that I pour after I blend all the faces together. So when I was doing this on my own before, I would use a crock pot because the crock pot, you know, you can manipulate the temperature of the crock pot, and then you can just, you know, go ahead and blend in the crock pot, you know, using the crock pot. And then I'll just scoop, you know, the last part will be I will scoop 200 grams as a small batch, and then from that 200 grams I will have a ready face. Basically just the last part will be the preservation and the flavor oil. So I will just add in the corresponding amount of preservation and my flavor oil to the 200-gram base, and then I'll pour. So you just have to have a system in creating a bigger batch, because of course we're doing this if you are starting a small business, that's how you do it. So, and besides, we're doing this the artisan way, and the artisan way is making a small batch of like a small batch of manufacturing. So let me just scrape the sides again and then continue with my blending. So this is the not hardest, but this is the most time-consuming part of making a lipstick, is to blend your pigments onto face B. Okay, you need to make sure that there's no more streaks of other powders or colors, and you have a homogeneous mixture before you will before adding your face C's. Okay, I can still see a little bit of white bits, so I need to continue with my blending. So I'm still here trying to mix our lipstick blends. We're still on face A and face B. Our faces are still here. So you cannot add in your faces until you're confident that you have properly blended your pigments onto face B. So that's why most lipstick makers, they would rather buy a blended pigment, you know, liquid dispersed, oil dispersed lipstick pigments, so that they don't need to do the blending. This is the hardest part of creating your own lipstick, the blending of your pigments and trying to disperse it into a homogeneous color. I think I'm near, so couple of minutes more. I can still see the white bits and orange colors on the sides whenever I need it on the sides. So by the way, we have a based on Cozy, there's a limit on the use of titanium dioxide. If in case, you know, for your information, there's a limit on the use of titanium dioxide for any cosmetics or makeup. We're only allowed, as a cosmetic restrictions, we're only allowed to use about 25% maximum percentage of titanium dioxide in any formula. So that you know. Now, where do you get all those informations? I suggest that I discussed that on one of my courses in Comprehensive Personal Care Formulation Study Program, and I discussed that on module. I think that's on module 3, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, identifying irritants and allergens on ingredients and cosmetics. Okay, so I think there's going to be a part 3. I'm going to go ahead and continue blending, but I have to cut this video for now. I'll see you on part 3 of this video.